Hi guys, I am an Indian Muslim and I live in Guwahati, Assam, and I would just like to express my views on the current situation in our country and how the Citizenship Amendment Act affects my community and how I feel about living as a minority in my own country given the current situation. Straight off the bat, I would like to clear it out that the fight that the Assamese people are fighting and the view that they have on the Citizenship Amendment Act is very different from the rest of the country. And even though both the protests are equally important, we have to we have to keep in mind that the Assamese people are fighting for the right to their own land be, because they have since 1971, since Bangladesh's independence, they have bared the brunt of the illegal infiltration by the immigrants, and so many people have crossed the border over the years and they have settled down in our land, and they have been using our resources, economic resources, and basically the indigenous people have been feeling threatened since the past 50 years, to say the least. Just Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh will be given citizenship. However, the Muslims have strategically been left out, and even refugees or the minorities living in Sri Lanka, Bhutan, or to say Tibet have been left out from this whole bill. This alienation is completely against our constitution, and even no matter how much people justify the fact that these minorities are facing injustice in their own respective countries, does not mean that they get to come into our country and settle down in our land, considering our country is not developed enough or is not economically equipped to handle this many amount of immigrants, because we have not been able to feed even our own citizens, and we are basically on the verge of economic destruction right now, considering the drop in GDP and basically the violence related to any other part of India where the Muslims have been facing so much, be it any sort of violence regarding what kind of food we eat, what kind of faith we follow. Lastly, I would like to again put emphasis on the fact that we, the Assamese people, are fighting for a very different cause than the protests going on in the rest of India. We have made it clear time and again that we do not want any sort of immigrants settling down in our land, be it Muslims or Hindus or Christians, Sikhs or Jains, facing any sort of violence or prosecution in their own countries. We want to be completely left out of the Citizenship Amendment Act, because we have been facing so many problems already because of the infiltration of illegal immigrants through the borders with Bangladesh, and this has been happening for years now, since 1971, and I'm here to say that enough is enough. The land belongs to the indigenous people, and it is unfair that they have to keep fighting for it, and that their protests are going completely unheard, and the national media is ignoring it yet again and completely excluding them from the rest of the protests going on in this country.